Hello, my name is John Mumper, and I have been honored to be your 4th Ward Councilman for the last 12 years. I have lived in Norwood on Cathedral Avenue all of my life. My parents, John and Alvina Mumper, raised my older sister and me in a 2-bedroom house on Cathedral. My sister, Kay Mumper Steckel, lives in Northville, Michigan with her family. I went to St. Peter and Paul Grade School and Purcell High School, and then went on to graduate from Xavier University with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, majoring in accounting. I married Kathy Detmer, who is also a lifelong resident, in 1970, and we bought a house 5 doors up for the street from my parents. We still live in that house today. We have 6 children. Brian, our eldest, has 3 children, Kate, Jack, and Chad. Brian works for Procter & Gamble and is an IT manager. Our second son, Jeff, and his wife, Kim Porcano, live in Amberley Village with their 3 children, Julia, Jake, and Jessica. Jeff works for Ameriprise Financial and is a certified financial planner. Our third son, Scott, is married to Joy Sondry, and they live in Norwood with their 3 children, Samantha, Jimmy, and Lizzie. Scott is a Norwood firefighter, paramedic, and is also a real estate salesman and appraiser. Fourth son, Joe, lives in Newport, Kentucky, and has 2 children, JT and Grace. Joe is the Chief Operating Officer at the Madison Event Center in Covington, Kentucky. Our older daughter, Kristen, was married to Danny Pond in May of this year, and they live in Madera. Kristen is an account manager with Horan Associates, a Cincinnati insurance company. Our younger daughter, Katie, is married to Tim Retkers, who also grew up in Norwood, and they live in Madera as well. They have 1 little girl, Annabelle. Katie works for Cintas and is a national director in their facility services division. If you did any counting when I mentioned the grandchildren's names, you notice that we are the lucky grandparents of 12 so far. I was told once that grandchildren are the reward for living through the teenage years with my own children. We are blessed. There is a wall decoration in our kitchen which states, "Live well, love much, laugh often." I like to use that as a guide for my life. My work history involves several companies in the Cincinnati area, and I spent nearly 40 years in private industry in accounting and finance. As a cost accountant, auditor, assistant to the treasurer. I now work for the Hamilton County Recorder, Wayne Coates, as his finance director. Many of our friends and relatives have left Norwood in search of a better life, but we decided to stay and give back to our city. We have discovered that it has been a rewarding decision to be involved, and we have no regrets. We love Norwood and are proud to call it home. During my past 12 years on council, I have served on finance, police and fire, streets, parks and recreation, and law and ordinance committees, and I was chairman of the Committee of the Whole for 8 years. I have responded to many phone calls from 4th Ward residents and have resolved many issues. If you have a problem or a question, or if you just want to discuss any issue, please call me at 531-3863 or email me at jmumper1965@fuse.net. We have continued our pressure on the owners of vacant property in Norwood, which these properties can be a nuisance and even a danger to the community. We have been able to demolish many vacant buildings in the 4th Ward and throughout Norwood with funding provided by Hamilton County. A recent demo was the apartment building at the top of Cathedral Avenue on the northwest corner. That problem had been a problem and an eyesore in our community for over 40 years, and now it is gone. There are many positive things happening in Norwood right now. A new firm, CDK Global, LLC, the largest global provider of integrated information technology and digital marketing solutions to the automotive industry, recently announced that they plan to move their company from the state of Illinois to the old Matrix facility in downtown Norwood and employ 1,000 people by 2018, with a total payroll of $45 million. They will be interviewing locally very soon. Rookwood Partners is continuing the construction of Rookwood Exchange, a $100 million encore to the 2 existing Rookwood developments. A company from Blue Ash, I Square Foot, a tech company for the building industry, plans to occupy 2 floors and about 60,000 square feet in the new office tower in Rookwood Exchange. They expect to move in on January 1st, 2016 with 287 workers and a payroll of $17.2 million and plan to hire an additional 110 workers. They will join Park National Bank, Mayfield Clinic, TEK Systems, KUI Plastic Surgery, Innova Financial Group, and Spavia Day Spa in the new office tower. Paycor at Linden Point continues to grow and has already filled their new $20 million, 136,000 square foot facility on Joseph Sanker Boulevard, which opened in the spring of 2014. Xavier University continues to add retail tenants to the Xavier Station. Graders and Gold Star Chili are now part of their multi-million-dollar project on Montgomery Road at the south entrance to Norwood. These companies have come to Norwood because of our great location and our excellent city services. Companies like these help the city pay its fixed costs with their payment of employee earnings taxes and the taxes on their profits. I'd be remiss if I did not mention the fantastic work being done in Norwood by the Norwood Promise Group. They have worked wonders in a short period of time, and they demonstrate that Norwood is still Norwood, citizens working together for the good of the city. Norwood Promise is a project that will guarantee a bright future for the city of Norwood and our excellent schools. Congratulations to all of those involved in the Norwood Promise. I'd like to take a couple of minutes to discuss the financial situation of the city of Norwood. We continue to attract developers from mid to large businesses to our city to help increase our revenues. However, most people take a look at our expenses and determine that we pay too much to employees. The explanation for that is that we are a service organization, as most cities and villages are. It is normal for a service organization to have 85% of its budget for employees. The next issue that people make is that we should cut the budgets of the police and fire. However, if we would cut the budgets of the police and fire, what do we want to do without? Do we want to cut our paramedic service? That is the most used service that we have in the city. Do we want to respond to and save heart attack victims and not assist diabetics, low sugar reactions? And do we not want to stabilize the individual with a pacemaker that is having issues? On the police side, do we want to disband the drug unit? This unit tries to deal with our war on drugs. We have many individuals who come into our city from neighboring communities that are testing the law on particular crimes. Do we want the criminals to win the war on drugs and crime? We still have a big majority of our residents who are senior citizens. Can they cope with reductions in our police and fire? Can our students cope with reductions in our police and fire? Can you cope with reductions in our police and fire? Crime is on the increase in the city of Norwood and the Cincinnati area. Drugs and petty theft lead the list. We are lucky to have a drug unit and detectives that work on both the drug problems and the petty theft issues. We are lucky to have excellent police and fire personnel who take their jobs seriously and perform as professionals. Next time you have a chance, thank a policeman and/or fireman for their service. An issue that most citizens do not realize about our revenue is that when the governor of Ohio solved the state's budget, he did so by taking away federal revenue sharing from the cities and villages of the state of Ohio. Our last check from the state of Ohio for our share of federal revenue sharing was for $821,000 3 or 4 years ago. That was a very big reduction in our revenues, and it is still missed. Right now, I would like to take a look at a moment in time from 1994. Back then, there was a man running for mayor on the Republican ticket who campaigned that he wanted to change the way things were done in Norwood and spend money on needed street repairs and updates. He was elected and quickly contracted with companies to perform many street repairs. Bonds were issued to guarantee that there was money to pay for the repairs. A few years later, streets were again in need of repairs, and the city of Norwood was still tied to making yearly payments on the original bonds. That former mayor saw the writing on the wall and resigned from the mayor's office before his second term was complete. We are still refinancing and paying for those bonds today. We hope to make the last payment in the spring of 2016. Without Tom Williams and an experienced counsel like Joe Sanker and myself, we could again wind up with bond payments for street repairs and other expenditures that we can't afford. We should learn from our history and re-elect Tom Williams, who has demonstrated that he knows how to be the mayor of Norwood and prioritize how the money is spent. As you may know, there are 2 polling places in Ward 4, Norwood View School on Hannaford Avenue for precincts 4A and 4B, and the Holy Spirit Center on Montgomery Road for precinct 4C. I hope to see you on your street during the next few weeks and at the polls on Election Day. The residents of the 4th Ward are the 4th Ward. Your concerns are my concerns. Your wishes are my wishes. Give me a call and we can discuss the issues that you have on your mind. This is a crucial time in Norwood. Although new ideas are the lifeblood of a city, we need the experience that I will continue to bring to our city and to City Council. Please vote for John Mumper for 4th Ward Council. Re-elect Tom Williams, Mayor. Elect Keith Moore, Law Director. Elect James Bonzel, Tammy Stickley, and Cindy Tincher to Council at Large. In Ward 1, please vote for Lynn Ellis. In Ward 2, please vote for Marilyn Hanahan. In Ward 3, please re-elect my good friend Joe Sanker. You can find out more about all of our candidates at norwooddems.com. Let's keep Norwood safe. Let's keep Norwood clean. Let's keep the city services that attract the developers. Let's keep Norwood debt-free. Let's keep Norwood, Norwood. Please remember to vote on November 3rd. Thank you very much, and remember, live well, love much, and laugh often. Thank you.